Oh, sorry, I know what you mean. Oh, no. What I mean is that, you know, I think, obviously, you know, you can't have the best of both worlds, so you just have to put up with it. It's tough, you know, tough.
On the other hand, you have a little million on the side, I mean, to help you through the toughness. I mean, has that success...
I worked for it, actually.
I know you did. But on the other hand, I mean, the balance from going from, I mean, almost obscurity to phenomenon success inside 2 years, the money aspect or the success aspect must make a difference to you.
Well, I mean, money makes a difference to everybody. I think everybody's basically a capitalist. You know, you see all these people, I mean, whether you vote Labour or Conservative, you're still a capitalist. I mean, even if you're just a housewife who simply wants a new cooker, that's capitalistic, you know. And having come from nothing, you know, having come from a sort of quite poor background, I know what it's like not to have money. I suppose I've got a sort of Jewish mentality in the sense that I know that I could be poor again, so I don't really go around spending too much money, you know. And when I do, I sort of, you know, do sort of 40 Hail Marys, you know. I mean, I suppose I've got that attitude that you can only live in sort of one house and sleep in one bed. But having just talked about the press, you know, a lot of people say, oh, it's different that pop stars shouldn't live in big houses, but unfortunately, you know, unless you build a wall around yourself, you know, you're constantly on view to the public. So it can be difficult, you know. I'll just have to find a little house with a wall round.
So, but in other words, in terms of trappings of success, it's just simply the house you've bought so far, basically.
Yeah, I've lived in it for quite a while though, you know. It's not as if it's something I've just gone out and bought, you know. I sometimes buy clothes, you know, but the most of my things are really cheap, you know. I go into stores and argue about the cost of things still. Yeah. I mean, I'm really tight, you know.
And you can write all the clothes off against tax anyway, so that's not bad.
Oh, yes. No, it actually does.
Actually, but in the midst of it all, do you still like to do just ordinary things, like watch your favourite Coronation Street?
Yeah, I get cravings to go and walk to Woolworths sometimes, you know. I'm driving along with my driver Bill, and I sort of look into Woolworths and I think I'd love to go in there. You know, and I do watch Coronation Street and Brookside, and I think George is innocent.
Because you're pretty fond of Hilda as well, aren't you? Really?
Yeah, I quite like her. You know, I like all those. I like Coronation Street. I mean, a lot of people ask me if I'd like to be an actor, and I think if I was an actor, that's the sort of thing I'd like to do. Because, you know, everyone knows a Mavis, don't they? That sort of ungrateful, dithering woman, you know, who sort of can't make her mind up, you know. She should take what she can get, you know. I just think that, you know, it's so real. Everyone knows the Stan, you know. I mean, sadly, he's no longer with us, but, you know, there's so many people in my childhood that remind me of that programme. You know, I've got aunts who look just like sort of, you know, Elsie Tanner and stuff. It's just so funny. And I suppose that's the sort of thing I'd like to do if I was an actor. It must be really demanding, you know, being Vera Duckworthy.
Did you have pin-ups? Did you have pin-ups in the movie business when you were young?
No, not films.
Not like the Jean Harlows or anything?
No, nothing like that. You know, I was always into sort of, I suppose, other pop stars' music, you know. I was very much into Mark Bolan. He was a real sort of big hero of mine, you know. But I'm not really into hero worshipping on the whole, you know. You know, I don't really agree with that.
I remember you also saying that that one day you thought you'd like to have children. Do you think you would be a conventional... Well, A, was it true that you said that? Did you say...
That's the sort of question that's like a neutralising question. It's like everybody hopes that at the end of this show I'm going to say, well, I would like to get older and have kids. Well, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but I won't be having any kids for a long time.
So you didn't say that originally?
Well, I didn't. I mean, people ask you that, and I mean, it's like saying to somebody who's just turned 30, what's it like? You know, you don't think about it. I mean, I'm sort of 23. At this present stage, I don't think about having children or getting married, you know, to a man or a woman. So...
Well, it might be very difficult having children, I suppose, in some cases, yeah.
You can always adopt them. But the point is, you know, I think most men want to have children, but the idea of sort of being a 9-to-5 husband does not appeal to me, I'm sorry.
So you'll not be the conventional father, then?
No, I don't think so. I'll be an unconventional father.
An unconventional father.
Yeah.
Well, George, what's next on? I mean, obviously the video's on the market, and you're probably charging around at the minute.
Well, we got the record out, and we got a new album coming out in sort of about 3 weeks. We go to America in 3 weeks. We come back, and at Christmas we play in Scotland, Birmingham and London at Wembley Conference Centre. So we've got a pretty busy time ahead of us.
So you'll be around your own fireside for Christmas then?
Yeah, I think I will be. Or my mother's or something. I don't know.
Boy, George, thanks very much
for joining us. Thank you.